Between the razzmatazz,
Back in Elmina, I get to see this in action. 150 visiting African Americans are being welcomed in a traditional naming ceremony.
You can tell something very special, something powerful is happening right now. The African American diaspora have just arrived, greeted by the sounds of drums banging, singing, dancing. They're here to shed back the slave names given to their ancestors, names that they've held for generations.
and the exuberance of homecoming.
Next week, the United States goes to the ballot box. It's set to be a dramatic election and will no doubt affect African Americans living there. But whatever happens, at least they know they have a home in Ghana.
By the African Americans who see Ghana as their eventual home. What lies ahead of them? Do they know? Are they even aware of the Liberians' history? Particularly the Liberian of the 1800s, even up to now? The friction between the Americo-Liberians and the autochthones, the indigenous peoples of Liberia. Are they aware of it at all? Well, my hope is that they will learn from that history and take necessary precaution. Let's watch this video and see what lies ahead the Americo-Ghanaians that are coming home to Ghana to stay. Happy viewing. Folks, it is natural to be nostalgic. It is natural to be homesick. When a group of African Americans who had their roots in Africa, particularly Ghana, when they feel homesick and they desire to return to their fatherland, it is a good sight to behold, just like this.
Return, welcoming anyone of African heritage to come to Ghana and reconnect with their roots.
Together to make sure that never with superior technology to walk into Africa, seize our peoples, and sell them into slavery.
And the response was huge. 2019 saw just over 1 million tourists visit Ghana, an increase of nearly 20% on the previous year.
Yes, but beyond these razzmatazz, beyond this euphoria of wanting to come back to fatherland, there are cautions to actually exercise. There are cautions to exercise because these are people, many of whom have not stepped their feet on African soil before. Of course, they were born in America. They have lived all their lives in America. They have American culture. They are alien to African culture. Of course, they are alien to the land they wish to return. Emigration is good, especially when people are homesick and they feel that they will have better treatment in the land of their nativity rather than where they have come, involuntarily many years back. Like I said earlier on, there are cautions to observe. First of all, before you take that kind of, decision, that milestone decision, I want you to listen to the advice of Dr. Ashley.
Ashley moved here in 2018, before the year of return, and she's worked across Africa and in the US. What advice would you give to people who are considering making a life for themselves in Ghana from the US?
I would always recommend people visit and vacation and have an experience first. And I think asking folks that have been on the ground, different varieties, to introduce you to the dysfunctional aspects of our family here. If you're not interested in the culture, the customs, the history, the language, the lineage, and what has gone down on these lands, then you're just a neo-colonialist. And you really shouldn't come.
Yes, this advice is very necessary because I recall the wars in Liberia, particularly between the Americo-Liberians and the autochthones of Liberia, the indigenous peoples of Liberia, those who were there before the Americo-Liberians that were liberated from America were returned to Liberia. I remember the war, and the war has spanned through the history of Liberia up to today because of the incongruity of two cultures that were amalgamated together. Up to today, the war still rages on. So this is a vital lesson that those who are emigrating from America to Ghana should learn. I'm not saying the initiative is bad. The initiative is a very laudable one, very good one. But they must learn. Because the people from America are coming with dollars. They are coming with dollars. And of course, there is this tendency to want to feel that, okay, they have arrived, they deserve the best in life. And those who have been there in Ghana will not just fold their arms and allow the Americo-Ghanaians to just appropriate everything. This may lead to some friction that will be akin to that of Liberia. And so it is very important that these areas are actually ironed out, especially by the Ghanaian president. Ghanaian government should make sure that they make a kind of either distinction or demarcation or fashion a policy that welcome the African American home comfortably, but not to the detriment of those who are being in Ghana. This is very important so that both the American Ghanaians and those at home will feel at home living together in harmony. This is my candid advice. Otherwise, the kind of friction, the kind of wars that have spanned from the 1800 up to today in Liberia may be the lot of Ghanaians if care is not taken. And that is why it is very important that before they come in drove, before they come to really settle down, and for them to really find a home in Ghana, for the American Ghanaian to find a home in Ghana, government has a lot to do. Government of Ghana has a lot to do to make room for them to be welcome and remain and feel at home in Ghana, but not to the detriment of those who have been in Ghana, contributing to the nation building. This is my candid advice. It is only then and then alone that we can greet the Americo-Ghanaians that are coming from America to settle at home. Akwabao. Advice. This is Dr. Femi Adegbulu. Don't forget, remember that this man is the only peacemaker who always approaches peacemaking with a weapon of mass destruction. The truth. Because he says it exactly the way it is, without caring whose us is God. Until I come your way again, I remain Dr. Femi Adegbulu. Try to stay out of trouble. And do not forget to subscribe if you have not done that. Also press the notification button so that all the uploads will come to you first before any other person. Till then, bye-bye.